Demonstrate. Don't litigate. That is the only move that stops the family courtroom from swallowing your week. When your own sibling rewrites your history to make you the villain, who do you become when you finally stop living for their approval? One version of you stays trapped as a character in their book, always reacting, always explaining. The other version turns the page and starts writing with actions, not arguments. Here is what you will get in this video. 7 practical tools to neutralize narrative sabotage. Rebuild self-worth. And step out of the persuasion spiral without turning every holiday and group chat into a trial. Think selective disclosure, clean boundaries, and a way to let steady character do the talking while you stay calm. Because the truth is, it is tempting to argue. It also feels awkward to sit there while someone hints at your motives. That discomfort is the price of leaving the stage. So take this first win. Say it once and stop. I don't litigate my character. I demonstrate it. Demonstrate. Don't litigate. Because the moment you start arguing, you accept the role of defendant. Narrative sabotage is a specific move. A sibling seeds doubt with relatives, reframes your wins as arrogance, and snaps you back into a childhood character they know how to control. It can sound casual. I'm just worried about them. It can show up as a joke at dinner that lands like a verdict. The urge is to explain every detail. And it feels painfully awkward to sit there and not correct the record. Stoicism calls this a jurisdiction problem. Labels, rumors, and family scripts live outside your direct control. Your ruling faculty is inside. Your choices, judgments, and conduct are the only identity you can actually own. Every extra paragraph you send is fuel for a persuasion spiral. And the spiral is the trap. First, we cut the jurisdiction line. Tool 1. The ruling faculty reset. Jurisdiction of control is the line you draw before the spiral starts. If you can name what is inside that line, you stop chasing verdicts you cannot win. Picture a family text thread on a random Tuesday. Someone drops a sentence like, "It is settled law. You have always been selfish." Everyone knows it. Your thumb starts moving. You type a paragraph. You erase it. You type again. Your chest gets tight and your brain starts building a case file. Then you catch it and you say, quietly, "Not my jurisdiction." Here is the reset. Your reputation lives in other people's heads. That is outside your direct control. Your conduct is yours. That is inside. The trap is thinking you can manage the jury with one more explanation. You cannot. You can only manage your ruling faculty, your judgments, and your next clean action. Use one line and stop. You are allowed your story. I am responsible for my conduct. It is calm. It is firm. It does not invite cross-examination. Then prove it to yourself with a 2-column log after any family contact. On the left, outside my control. Their opinions. Their retellings. Who they text. On the right, inside my control. My tone. My boundaries. My next useful task. Write 3 items in each column. Once you stop chasing the verdict, you need a boundary that prevents new evidence from being manufactured. Tool 2. Selective disclosure ladder. Non-answer mastery is how you stop new evidence from being manufactured. If they cannot get fresh material, they cannot keep updating the story. Picture a kitchen after a family dinner. Plates are stacked. Someone is drying a glass. And an aunt leans in with that soft voice that sounds caring but feels like a probe. So what really happened between you two? Your body wants to defend itself. Your mind wants to give context. And you can feel how one sentence could turn into a 30-minute trial. Instead, you keep it private and you stay kind. We are keeping it private. How is your garden project going? That is not evasive. That is controlled access. In Stoic terms, not everyone earns your inner life. Privacy is not secrecy. It is a boundary that protects your ruling faculty from being dragged into gossip management. Use a simple ladder so you do not improvise under pressure. Level 1. I am not getting into that. Level 2. I am focused on moving forward. Level 3. Appreciate your concern. Let's talk about something else. You pick the lowest level that works, and you repeat it once if needed. Track it with a disclosure ratio. For every one personal detail you share, ask 3 neutral questions back. You will feel the awkwardness. And that is fine. Less disclosure prevents damage, but you still need to stop performing defense in real time. Tool 3. The no courtroom response. No courtroom energy means you stop performing defense in real time. You can keep your privacy tight and still get dragged into a trial if you start answering accusations like they are honest questions. Picture a dinner table. Someone makes a joke that is not a joke. Must be nice to think you are better than everyone. It lands. Forks pause. And your nervous system wants to sprint. You can feel the urge to explain your intent. List your sacrifices. Clear your name. That is the arena they chose. The Stoic move is brevity. Silence is not weakness. It is refusal to enter a rigged courtroom where the rules change mid-sentence. Your goal is not to win the moment. Your goal is to keep your ruling faculty intact and leave with your self-respect. Use a simple 12-word line so you do not improvise. I will not discuss this here. I am here to enjoy tonight. Then redirect to something physical and normal. I am not debating that. Pass the salad. Please. It is calm. It is almost boring. That boredom is the point. To make it real, run a trigger to breath check. 1 slow inhale before any reply. If you cannot take the breath, you do not speak. You sip water. You look at your plate. You let the moment pass. If you do not defend, they escalate. Next is how to make escalation backfire without fighting. Tool 4. Quiet showcase. Results, not rebuttals. That is how you make a smear boring. When you stop feeding arguments and start stacking clean outcomes, the story has nothing to attach to. Here is a common setting that surprises people. Work overlaps with family, even when you never mention it. A coworker pulls you aside near the coffee machine and says, I heard you are difficult to work with. Your brain wants to defend. Your stomach tightens because it is unfair and it is embarrassing. Instead, you stay practical and you make it about the next measurable thing. You say, what would make working together easier this week? Then you listen. Then you do one visible action that helps the shared project. You follow up in writing with a simple summary and a deadline, not to prove yourself, to create clarity. That clarity is your quiet showcase. Stoicism translates this into a simple strategy. You cannot control the rumor, but you can control the quality and consistency of your conduct. So you publish your character the way a serious person publishes anything. Small releases, on schedule, with fewer words than everyone else. Use one rule. Post outcomes, not arguments. Share receipts of value, not receipts of resentment. 3 concrete deliveries per week is enough. A sent update, a finished task, a helpful fix. Quiet showcase works. Unless you keep one door open that lets them keep rewriting you. Tool 5. Boundary script with consequence. When X, I will Y is the door you close, so the story cannot keep rewriting you. It takes your quiet showcase and makes it enforceable in real life. Picture a phone call that starts normal and turns into a character trial in 10 seconds. A relative sighs and says, "Your sibling says you are cold now." You can feel your face heat up. Part of you wants to list every time you showed up, every time you helped, every reason you are not cold. That is the old courtroom reflex. Instead, you name the line and you act on it. If we are talking about my character, I am ending the call. Then you let the silence do the work. A beat passes. It is awkward, and that is the point. The awkwardness is the boundary forming. Then you give the exit ramp with a calm tone. We can talk again another time. No anger, no lecture. Just a clean consequence that protects your nervous system. This is the Stoic version of power. A boundary is not a demand that they behave. It is a decision about what you will do when the line is crossed. Use the simplest formula so you do not negotiate with yourself. When X happens, I will Y. When you relay accusations, I will change the subject once. If it continues, I am done. Run a 1 warning policy. 1 warning per interaction. Second time equals action. Boundaries stop the bleeding. Next, we rebuild identity so their labels cannot stick. Tool 6. Identity reauthoring. Values in motion is how you make their labels stop sticking. A boundary stops the bleeding. But your identity heals when you start collecting proof you respect. Picture the bathroom mirror after a family event. The noise is still in your ears. You replay one comment, one look, one little laugh at your expense. The old script shows up fast. I am the problem child. It is familiar. It is also lazy. Then you interrupt it with something you can actually live up to. I am a person who keeps promises and stays fair under pressure. That is the Stoic translation in plain language. Identity is not what they call you. It is what you practice, especially when you are provoked and your ego wants to swing back. You do not argue your way into a new self. You behave your way into one. Use a 3-line identity card so you do not drift back into the childhood role. I am someone who values blank. I prove it by blank. Today I will blank. Make it small and concrete. If the value is fairness, the proof might be one calm sentence and a clean exit. If the value is reliability, the proof might be sending the message you have been avoiding. Then end the day with a single proof line. Today I demonstrated blank by blank. It can feel corny at first. Do it anyway. Your brain learns from receipts. Now, seal it. Here is how to handle smear flare-ups without relapsing into explanation. Tool 7. The Stoic Author Protocol. Author Protocol is how you handle smear flare-ups without relapsing into explanation. It takes values in motion and turns them into a repeatable response under stress. Picture a group chat that is supposed to be logistics. Someone posts a screenshot. Then your sibling fires the line that sets the trap. Tell them what you did. Everyone is watching. Your heart rate spikes. And you can feel the old impulse to write an essay and attach receipts. You do the opposite. Not doing this here. Then you leave the chat. That is not drama. That is discipline. Your peace becomes the consequence. Their story collapses when it cannot hook your nervous system. Use the author sequence so you do not improvise. Assess. Is this bait or is it logistics? Unhook. Take one breath and drop your shoulders. Tell less. One sentence only. Hold line. Repeat the boundary once. Same words. Same tone. Offer alternative. I will discuss privately or not at all. Return to output. Within 10 minutes. Do one concrete task that moves your life forward. One email. One workout set. One invoice. Anything real. Track it with a relapse counter. Tally explanations you wanted to give versus explanations you gave. Aim for 5 to 1. You will feel weird at first. That is withdrawal from the courtroom. This is where people object. Is this passive? The myth dies in the next section. Author protocol is not passive. It is selective engagement, and that is a form of strength. The myth is, if you do not defend yourself, they win. But defending yourself in a rigged courtroom is the loss. You cannot out-argue someone who is committed to misunderstanding you, especially when they are performing for an audience. The more you explain, the more you hand them material to edit. The win is jurisdiction control plus consistent conduct. You stop trying to manage the jury and you manage your ruling faculty. You stay calm. You set the line. And you return to output. That is what being unlike the person who injured you actually looks like. Not nicer. Unhookable. There is a moment when you realize you are not arguing for truth. You are auditioning for a role in someone else's play. It usually starts small. A group text. A sideways comment. A pause that feels like a spotlight. And suddenly you are drafting a defense like you are on trial. The exit line is simple, and it feels almost too quiet. I am not doing this here. Then you stop typing. You change the subject, or you leave the thread. It is awkward for a second. And that awkwardness is your nervous system learning a new pattern. For the next 7 days, you are the author and there are no courtrooms. Your only rule is simple. In any flare-up, you use one boundary line maximum. Then you return to output. One sentence. Then a real task. Keep a small scorecard. Trigger. Tool used 1 through 7. Did I explain yes or no? Output proof in 1 sentence. Peace rating 1 to 10. The point is not perfection. The point is to see patterns. Your success metric is clear. Avoid at least 10 explanations by day 7. and your peace rating should trend up. If you miss a day, no guilt. Resume. I am practicing authorship, not perfection. If you're done being edited by family politics, subscribe. Use the 7-day author challenge and watch what changes when you stop litigating and start demonstrating. Next video. We get tactical about flying monkeys, the relatives who recruit you into the smear, and how to shut that down without torching the whole family. Drop I demonstrate. Not litigate in the comments if you're running it.